When we hear the city, we often imagine skyscrapers, city centers, iconic landmarks, and bustling traffic noise, but there are cities where you will only find silence and emptiness. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are listing down some of the abandoned cities. But before moving ahead, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Pripyat, Ukraine. Unlike the usual reasons like war or economic downturns, Pripyat was abandoned because of the infamous nuclear disaster of Chernobyl. On April 26, 1986, a tragic disaster happened in reactor number 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Pripyat had been built near the plant as a residence for its scientists, staff, and workers. The incident released the flames and radioactive materials into the air. Within 36 hours of this incident, the city's 49,000 residents were evacuated. The government created a 29-kilometer exclusion zone around Pripyat and the power plant to prevent anyone from returning. Even though the residents stayed in this city for less than 2 days, some of them had severe health issues due to their exposure to nuclear radiation. There are still around 400 people residing in Pripyat. Despite the city's uninhabitable state for the coming centuries, authorities have considered it safe for short-term tourist visits. A guided tour into this abandoned city costs approximately $100 to $500 per person. Plymouth, Montserrat. Situated in Montserrat, Plymouth is an overseas territory of the United Kingdom in the southeastern Caribbean. The first European colony of Montserrat was established in Plymouth in 1632. In July 1995, the Soufriere Hills volcano, which remained inactive for centuries, experienced a series of significant eruptions. These eruptions affected the southern part of the island. By December 1995, the entire city of Plymouth was evacuated. Although residents returned in 1997, the volcano erupted again in June 1997, which permanently evacuated most of Plymouth's citizens. Subsequent eruptions between August 4 and August 8 destroyed approximately 80% of the town and buried it under 1.4 meters of ash, making it inhabitable. Consequently, the British Navy evacuated the remaining residents from the city. Most of the island's population relocated to the mainland United Kingdom. Currently, the southern part of the island is designated as an exclusion zone due to ongoing volcanic activity. While tours are available in this zone, visiting here involves high risk because of active volcanoes. Krakow, Italy. It is a beautiful abandoned town situated in the southern Italian province of Basilicata. Founded in 540 AD, this town had a captivating appearance because it was constructed on a 400-meter-high cliff. Its strategic location was chosen to defend against potential invaders, and proved effective for around 1,500 years. However, this same advantage eventually became its downfall. Over time, Krakow became highly vulnerable to natural disasters, particularly landslides that caused extensive damage. In 1963, due to the severe threat posed by these landslides, the Italian government made it mandatory for the citizens to relocate to the nearby town of Peschiera. Since then, Krakow has become a popular tourist destination and a setup for various iconic films, including The Passion of Christ and Christ Stopped at Eboli. Hashima Island, Japan. In 1887, a coal mining colony was established on Hashima Island in Japan, and the workers from nearby areas migrated there. In a short span, Mitsubishi purchased the entire colony, turning it into a highly profitable enterprise. This became even more evident when Korean and Chinese prisoners of war were forced to work in these mines during World War II. Post-war, Hashima Island sustained growth. In the 1950s, it accommodated 5,200 residents in a space smaller than a square kilometer, marking it as one of the most densely populated areas on the planet. However, Mitsubishi closed its mines in 1974, leaving this island abandoned. The island remains in a state of ruin, with empty concrete apartments, schools, barbershops, and swimming pools. Despite its abandonment, Hashima Island has been the center of substantial controversy. The first major dispute arose in 2009, when Japan proposed the island as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attributing its significance to its role in the Meiji Industrial Revolution in Japan. However, both South and North Korea objected to this nomination, indicating the island's history as a prisoner of war camp that disqualified it from a UNESCO title. Fordlandia, Brazil. Founded in 1928 by Henry Ford, Fordlandia incorporated American-style amenities such as bungalows, swimming pools, hotels, and even a golf course. He turned to Brazil initially to secure a rubber resource for his company's tires. He invested approximately $20 million, around $290 million today, to familiarize the Brazilian community with American community living. It was built along the Tapajós River, within the famous Amazon rainforest. However, things didn't go as planned. The lack of proper infrastructure, with no connecting roads, made it challenging to reach Fordlandia via the Tapajós River. The American planters, unfamiliar with tropical rubber cultivation, planted the trees incorrectly, which led to rapid vulnerability, including tree diseases, fungi, and pest infestations. Struggling with these, Ford decided to relocate 40 kilometers downstream to a more fertile area. Although this new site yielded some rubber, it was around this time that synthetic rubber became easier to produce in masses, making natural rubber's cultivation outdated. This led Henry Ford's grandson, Henry Ford II, to sell all the Brazilian land back to the government at a fraction of its value in 1945, resulting in a substantial financial loss of millions. As a consequence, the town now lies abandoned, attracting occasional visitors. Kennecott, United States. Located in the northern snowy state of Alaska, it made headlines for producing approximately $200 million worth of copper ore between 1911 and 1938, which is roughly $3 billion in today's value. Unfortunately, in 1938, the mines ceased operations, transforming Kennecott into a deserted town. It was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1986 and became part of the Rangel St. Elias National Park and Preserve, which stands out as the largest national park in the United States. Over the years, this change has drawn a consistent flow of tourists to the area. Oradour-sur-Glane, France. A small town in France that has a tragic history when the Germans occupied it during World War II. In 1944, when the news about SS officer Helmut Kampf's death surfaced, Germany decided to seek revenge. They led troops to the town. Nearly every single resident of the town was murdered on that day. Men were forced to move into barns and sheds, shot in the legs, and then burned alive. Women and children suffered a similar fate, and they were forced into a church, which was then set on fire. Anyone who attempted to escape was shot with machine gun fire. In addition to this senseless violence, the attackers also engaged in widespread looting. The total death was around 642. After the war, President Charles de Gaulle ordered that the ruins of the old town would be untouched, serving as a memorial to the victims. Except for a museum, the site remains both untouched and uninhabited until today.